Okay. Will the Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025 regular meeting of the Planning and Zoning Board of Town of Melbourne Beach please come to order? First item on the agenda is a roll call.
Chairman David Campbell.
Here.
Vice Chairman Kurt Belstein.
Here.
Member April Evans. Here. Member Dan Harper.
Here.
Member Gabor Kashegi.
Here.
Alternate Todd Albert.
Here.
Alternate Jason Judge.
Here.
Interim Town Manager Lisa Frazier.
Here.
Town Planner Corey O'Gorman.
Here.
The new Building Admin Steve Freeman.
Here.
Town Clerk Amber Brown is also present.
Next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes of the November 3rd meeting. Anybody got any changes to the minutes?
Move to accept.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Minutes are approved. Next item that we're covering, since we don't have any public hearings, is continuation of the site plan approval for 305 Oak Street. And if I remember correctly, the only thing wrong with this one was vegetation. Didn't have the proper vegetation, right?
Yes, I think that's, we asked them to go back and get the landscaping plan, which they provided in complete detail, appeared to me.
Looks good to me.
Looks good to me. I'd move for acceptance of the site plan for Oak Street.
Would like, I don't know if this is the proper time to do it, but clarification from Corey over some of the things that we saw in our plan, in our stuff here, having to do with finished floor elevation, total elevation, and how it's counted. Taking into consideration, the ordinance was passed about 6 months ago, and all of this does fall in line with that. Is that correct? Correct.
Yes, ma'am. Corey O'Gorman, Town Planner, Chair, Vice Chair, Board members, reviewed the site plan and the building elevations for compliance with 7A55 and the amendments in 2025-1. In this particular case, the finished floor elevation is
16.
2 feet over.
yes, the finished floor elevation, the minimum finished floor elevation is 16. The finished floor elevation that's provided is 18. The overall building height is, of course, a maximum of 28 feet. My staff report incorrectly noted that it was 22. The elevations show the overall height at 26 and a half. The 26 and a half is actually measured from grade and not from the finished floor elevation. So in this case where the finished floor is actually 2 feet higher than the required finished floor elevation, and 7A55 requires that the overall height be reduced by that same amount, with the finished floor elevation, or rather with the overall height being taken from the finished floor elevation, the height of the building is actually at 26 and a half, measured from the finished floor. Sorry if I'm not saying that correctly. Let me. So the 26 and a half is actually measured from grade. The total height is actually 24 and a half, measured from finished floor. So it is consistent with 7A55 for the overall height of the building. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, I guess my concerns was the ordinance that was passed about 6 months ago requires that I guess, grade not be higher than, would have been 4.5 feet before, above the crown of the road? 36, okay, 36 inches above the crown of the road. And so that, I was under the impression that's where we had to start the measurements.
The amendment is that in the event the existing grade or existing floor elevation exceeds 36 inches above the crown of the street, the measurement of building height shall be measured from 36 inches above the crown of the street.
Correct.
And in this case, let me go to the plans. The crown of the street is at 14.5.
14.5.
36 inches above that would be at 14.5, 17.5. And the finished floor elevation on the plans is, I'm sorry, bear with me for just a moment. Is 18. So the finished floor elevation of 18 is within 6 inches of the 17.5. Does that answer your question?
Okay, yeah. So that we're squeaking in there and still keeping it in code.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Anybody else got any comments on this one? It's been moved to approve.
Second?
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The 3-0. So the next is site plan review continuation for 205 Riverside.
6.
It too had vegetation issues. 206, thanks.
You know, Chairman, I just wanted to add on the Oak Street, if we you know, hadn't, in our wisdom, been able to slow down that environmental proposal, this homeowner would have had to plant 27 oak trees.
Can you even find 27 oak trees in the area to buy? Well, all right.
I found the setbacks to be in line and the height constraint to be in line, the pervious and residence footprint. I found those to be in compliance, Chairman. I know we're in transition on who's responsible for what, as far as the plan submittals go and such, and I suspect that'll be tightened up a little bit down the road. So I'm not gonna make any further comments on that. I think everything's in compliance. I just, maybe we can talk a little bit afterwards as to who's responsible for what, going forward anyway. Okay, very good. I found it all in compliance with our various metrics, Chairman, but,
Looks good to me.
One question on one of our forms here, it says the recommendation is to approve the site plan contingent on approval from town engineer. Is that still a valid recommendation?
help us out here, what's the town engineer approving, the stormwater or something else?
Yes, the town engineer would only be in charge of the drainage and the the drainage calculations and making sure that it was approved. Amber, it was my understanding that they did approve this.
It's,
I'm trying to look it up to see if there's been an update. What was in there was the last update I received from the building department, but I'm checking to see if there's a new email recently.
in the packet we were given, is it BSE, I think is the town engineer, he had not, this did not include his approval of the drainage plan. That's, I kind of gave some leeway on that, given we're kind of in this transition. And
Then I would recommend that the motion include the contingency for approval by the town engineer.
Second.
Okay, well, I make a motion that we approve the site plan for 206 Riverside Drive contingent on approval from the town engineer.
Do I hear a second?
I can second that.
All right, it's been moved and seconded, we approve contingent on the town engineer. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 That's done. Next, report by the town manager, public comment, I'm sorry. I kind of thought maybe you were happy with that. I'm sorry. Town manager report?
Yes, sir, thank you. This evening, we are pleased to introduce you to Steve Freeman. He is our building, I called him the permit technician, but I believe it's, help me out here, Amber, it was advertised as
Building admin.
building admin. So I apologize. This is Steve Freeman. This is his second day here at the town, and he's jumping in with 2 feet. And I asked him to come to this meeting tonight just to be introduced and to get a feel for what you all look for when you review your site plans, so that he can provide you with the most educated information that you can have. Steve, would you like to say anything about your background, or? Go ahead, turn on the mic, thank you.
Yeah, I got about 30 years invested in the construction industry, mostly in the distribution aspect of it. I've been working for general contractors for upwards of 10 years of that time. I've got a vast knowledge, and just looking forward to jump right into this and get the building department going back to where it should be.
Is he taking Robert's spot or Kim's spot?
Kim's spot. So
Okay.
it'll be Kim's spot. So we still have CAP, I'm sorry, they are our outsourced building official.
Who is?
CAP, C-A-P, government, I believe is the name of the consultant. And so they're providing us with the building official and all the inspectors. They were, in the interim, providing us with a permit technician, who was Kim, who has left the town. But we are grateful that we have found Stephen, and he will be our staff liaison, if you will, between the building department and town management.
And who's the building department now? Is that Corey or is that CAPS?
No, CAPS.
Is the equivalent to the building department?
That's correct. They provide the building official and the inspectors. All of the permitting, all of the taking of the permit fees is at Town Hall. That has not moved. That is part of Town Hall. What Steve will be doing is processing all of those applications and making sure that inspections have been scheduled and do all of the public-facing type of work that occurs every single day at the Town Hall. Does that answer your question, sir?
Yeah, are you going to go through who's responsible for what there?
I am. In fact, I'm going to give you a handout of it.
Okay.
So, we actually have an existing, in our code, it is sorry, there's a whole bunch of things attached to it. I don't want to have to give you that stuff. Hold on a moment, please. There you go. Take one, pass it down, please. So in 7A-1-170, it talks about designated administrative and enforcement officials. Okay, so in that section of our code, it goes through who would be designated in taking over certain parts of the land development code. It's all under the direction of the town manager, which is good, because in the code, it gives a lot of these responsibilities to the building official that shouldn't be under them. Building official, what do I say, is required to follow the building code, not the land development code. They, in fact, in all of my previous positions, they want to stay very hands-off on any of the land development code and just concentrate on the building code. That is their license, that is what they are trained to follow. In this instance, because we are a small town, they will also be taking on, like, the coastal setback regulations, which they just did for 305. Building officials take on building, they take on the flood protection, they are our certified floodplain managers, and they take on the coastal construction setback type of information that is not often required here in town, but obviously sometimes, with 305 being an example. Most of the land development code is done under your town planner or your zoning official, and you'll see that to be the case under the town planner. Your town engineer typically takes care of concurrency issues, as in traffic, or, of course, your stormwater and drainage, any permitting that is outside of your local municipality, your state agencies. They also would be assigned the flood resistance development, which is during, which we don't have much of here, but new roads, any type of utilities going in, making sure that they're resistant to flooding by making sure they're at the right depths. And then, of course, they review all the site plan drainage reviews. And we're going to keep that as it is. Unfortunately, the process has not been as measured as I would like to see. So we are putting in those type of processes into place now, as far as making sure that your reports are not only covered by Corey, and Corey's here this evening. I asked him to come in and meet me for the first time after being here serving the town for the last 10 years. And we went over a plethora of things that have been sitting there, so it's been a lovely afternoon with Corey. And he'll come up to the meetings when and if it's necessary at any time to discuss things with you. But we also went through what the task designations will be and what he's going to be looking for in the future. For instance, landscaping. Corey is never really, he's telling me in the last year is when he started doing a lot of the site plan reviews and was never involved in the landscaping. That's typically a planner's job, so I don't know who was doing it before. Was it the building official?
Robert.
Was it the building official?
Nobody, we had it, didn't have it before.
So, I mean, if the building official was looking at it, then that's lovely, but this outsourced company will not be doing that. They want to stay really clean with building, the building code. So that's why I've provided this for you, and if you have any questions, please ask.
Couple quick ones from me. Just,
Sir, of course.
appreciate your input. So just whipping down through here, tell me who's responsible for these items for building height? Would that be Corey?
Yes, so building
Let-
heights, building setbacks.
Let me go through these. Building height, setbacks, would that be Corey?
Yes,
Pervious?
that's the town engineer.
The town engineer, that would be BSE?
Well, we have 3 town engineers now, but at this time, BSE, who has now been bought out, and they are now LPIJ, something
Right.
like that. They are still taking care of the site plan reviews at this point. But when you're looking at impervious and pervious, and you're looking at drainage, that's all gonna be,
Let me ask Corey. He's done a lot of this.
of course.
Now, I don't know why the engineer, the pervious and the principal structure, percentage, those are basically just numbers off the site plans. And I presume you just take their numbers and do a double-check calculation or something. The contractor has his site plan drafter do all those computations right on the face, as you know.
Right.
So Lisa, number one, I don't know what an engineer would add to that
I don't know
math.
what you're
And I'm asking Corey, what do you do? Do you just take his math? You don't go back and check his square footage or anything like that, do you?
Not usually, no, sir. Yeah, I mean, in some cases, I would try to do a simple takeoff just to see if they're in the right ballpark.
Okay.
If I had a question about it. But if the, I guess, you know, having reviewed enough site plans over the years, I think there are a couple things. One is the pervious impervious is important from an engineering perspective for the drainage calculations.
They, in their stormwater plan, they take all that into account.
Exactly.
So,
But it's also important from a land development code perspective to be sure that they're not exceeding the maximum impervious requirement.
Buildable area.
but is that an engineer's function to do the arithmetic?
Well,
It's,
the-
they're not doing, I understand the engineer does the stormwater drainage plan. Understand that. That's a good duty for him. But to simply do the division for the pervious, why would the,
So your
I-
impervious area is gonna determine how much drainage and how
yes,
much.
yes, he
how
takes
much
that into
treatment
account
that you
along
have
with
to
his soils into his stormwater plan. But I'm just talking about, on our little thing we get, we always check the pervious computation. So you're gonna give that, the engineer is gonna submit something written that says he checked the pervious,
I'm sorry, what are you looking at?
well, I'm just looking at my list.
I don't understand this.
Well, here, you could look at a set of plans where we calculate the pervious, or they always calculate the pervious percentage on the front of the site plan.
Yes, I understand that.
And in the past, Robert did his page where he said, I verified all these things.
Okay.
So now, who's gonna give that page that said they verified those things? Is it, apparently, you're gonna have the engineer do it.
Well, the engineer calculates their drainage and their stormwater treatment based on impervious area. That is how it's calculated. So they will be looking at the impervious area, but I believe what you're referring to is not impervious area, it's amount of buildable area in a lot. Those
Negative,
are
negative,
two
both,
different things.
both. I'm referring to
And
both.
Sometimes they're the same and sometimes they're not. So when you're looking at zoning, that will be Corey. He will look and make sure that they have the right amount of buildable area. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more. If it's more, then of course they have to go down to less. But the impervious surface is used by the engineer to determine how much treatment volume is necessary in the stormwater plan.
Yes.
So when you're using the word impervious surface, that connotates to drainage when you're looking at buildable area, or, what's the word I'm looking for, not buildable area, but the build-out area, the envelope that you can have on a lot.
Lot coverage, building
Lot coverage,
coverage,
thank
yeah.
you, that was the word I was looking for, thank you very much. When you're looking at lot coverage, it's not necessarily the same as impervious area, so.
I don't think anybody said that, Lisa. But anyway, is there,
Table this
all right, fine.
long drawn-out discussion about building and cover anything else?
Oh, I'm sorry.
You got anything else?
Me?
Yes.
No, sir.
All
So
right.
if you have any questions about these are your individuals that would cover that. But you
Thank you.
can come right through me or Corey. Thank you.
Anybody got anything we need to add to future meetings?
Not at the moment.
Does anybody making a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Meeting adjourned.
What was that?
Thank you, gentlemen, for coming tonight. I appreciate that.